Elvan's Essentials. If you're anything like me, you love to watch YouTube videos, but then you end up going from YouTube to opening up a separate tab like Amazon or any other shopping website, and you don't really need to. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some things that are nice to have for your hair, but you don't actually need them. And this will be good for you if you're feeling a little bit minimalistic or if you want to save your coins. So save your coins, sis. Now the first thing on my list is a scalp massager. Now a scalp massager is nice to have, but I remember getting one from Vanity Planet back when everyone was using it and everyone was offering their discount codes. But when I received it, I used it like once or twice and then I never used it again. And that's because my fingertips do an even better job and it's just not necessary. Another thing you don't need for your natural hair is a conditioner over $5. Now, if you're like me and you detangle in the shower, then you use a lot of conditioner. And I like to use a lot of conditioner because it has a lot of slip. And it turns out that the conditioners with the most slip, most of the time they have silicone in them, so they're cheaper anyway. But regardless, because I use so much conditioner, I'm not about to literally let my money go down the drain. Alright, so don't come for me with this one, but you don't need edge control. If you really like to slick down your edges, you could just use some gel. And if gel doesn't hold your edges, maybe you just shouldn't slick down your edges. And with that is the edge brush. I still use my toothbrush. Well, I actually was gifted an edge brush, but I still use an old toothbrush because it works better. What's the big deal? You don't need to slick down your edges anyway. Now, next on my list is a refresher spray. Now, it might be nice to have a refresher spray, but you don't really need one. You could simply use water in a spray bottle. If you want to get fancy, you can add some conditioner or maybe some aloe vera juice, but you don't really need to buy something that says refresher spray. Now, you also don't need to buy a diffuser. I do wash and goes all the time, and I have yet to buy a diffuser. I do wash and goes, and to dry them, I either air dry or sit under my bonnet dryer. And when I have used just a handheld blow dryer, I still didn't find the need to use a diffuser because I just blow dried it going downwards in a way that would not create frizz. That simple. Again, nice to have, but not needed. The next thing that you don't need for your natural hair is a product that is labeled Pre-Poo. You don't actually have to go out and buy something that says Pre-Poo because you can use your favorite oil, or you can just simply detangle with your rinse out conditioner. You can condition, shampoo, and then condition again. You don't need to go buy a Pre-Poo. Can you guess what's next? It's a Turban Towel. You don't need to go out and buy a Turban Towel because you can either air dry, or if you really need to sop up that extra water, go ahead and use a t-shirt. Me personally, I let my hair air dry just a little bit before I go in with product because I like to add my product on wet to damp hair anyway. So a Turban Towel, not really necessary. Okay, this is one that I felt like I needed because every single video has them. Every single natural hair guru has clips to section their hair. Me personally, I got a bunch of alligator clips, but then I realized that they snap my hair off anyway. And if your hair is long enough, you can just Bantu knot your section in order to separate it. And if it's not long enough, you could use a hair tie. What else don't you need? You don't need a steamer. I don't have a steamer, and that's just because even though I've seen a lot of people use them, and even though it looks very luxurious to steam your tresses, I just know that I don't need one because I can just step in the shower without a bonnet or a See, I don't even use one. That's how you know. If you want to really steam your hair because you have low porosity hair like me, you can just hop in a hot shower. Now, a lot of you guys are gonna be mad at me for this, but some of you will thank me. You don't need to buy a brush. I personally love to finger detangle because it's the only tool that can feel. All of these brushes can't feel your knots to gently take them out. Whatever brush you use, you're gonna get a slight more breakage than you would if you use your fingers. I have tried the Tangle Teaser, which was my favorite, the wet brush, the Denman brush, a regular vent brush. The only thing I haven't tried is the Felicia Leatherwood brush, but at that point I just gave up on brushes because my fingers do an amazing job. And finger detangling also helps to clump my curls together. Another thing that you don't need is a satin pillowcase. I know you want to sleep on that soft satin, but if you just want to save your coins, it's not a need, especially because you can just put a bonnet over your head. You can simply wrap your hair in a satin scarf. I do have a satin pillowcase, but after I got it, I realized it wasn't really a need, especially because I am someone who likes to sleep with the covers over my head anyway. So even if I did have a satin pillowcase and only used that, my hair would still be dry because of the covers. I was also gonna say that you don't need to buy a pick, but picks are inexpensive anyway. But if you're feeling minimalistic, you don't really need to buy a pick because you can simply use a wide tooth comb or just pick out your hair with your fingers. I get breakage from picking, so I don't pick anyway. But there you have it. Those are all the things I can think of right now that you don't really need, even if you might be tempted to buy them, or even if all of the things I just mentioned you don't really need. They are nice to have, they are convenient, but if you want to save your coins, you don't need it. You don't. Now comment below things that you don't need in your natural hair regimen, things that you've been tempted to buy, things that you've been convinced to go out and buy, but when you got them, you realize you don't really need them. I would love to hear what you guys come up with. If you like this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up because I would love your feedback. And if you like this video, then you might as well subscribe because more videos like this are coming soon. And if you subscribe, then you might as well comment because I want to hear from you. Bye guys, I'll see you in the next video.